Okay, Uncle Aubrey, where are we at?
Mom, we're at the call center.
We're at the call center?
Yep.
Tell Mom what's going on here. What's going on here?
People calling.
People are calling?
Yeah.
And we're up at ORU?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Warren you.
Yeah, awesome. And hey, what'd you eat for lunch today?
Me?
Yeah, what'd you eat for lunch today?
Then
we have one of those quick trip, like vegetable trays?
Yeah.
What'd we have for breakfast?
Quick trip vegetable trays too.
And what'd we have for dinner? Then we have a quick trip. Do we have a quick trip vegetable tray for dinner too?
Yeah.
Do we eat the same thing for all 3 meals?
Yeah.
Was that awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No date, no venue, 2014.
Okay, cool. Well, all of our appointments have been literally just going up like crazy. Definitely recommend that second or that third package. Those packages are regularly $800 and $900. However, with the price special this week, the price was actually $600 or $700.
Nice little buzz in the room. Nice little buzz in the room. It's getting pretty crazy. I black out from like 3 to 9, and then at 9 o'clock I wake up and then there's just a bunch of this money on my desk. I don't know where it came from. I got to remind myself that we're working. It's a lot of fun.
It's hard to sort. Do you just use the money to heat your home? You don't know what to do with all the extra money?
That's one way to do it, but a lot of times, we just want to make sure that it gets to the right person. So.
Makes sense.
We're not going to send anybody out there just like a ninja.
For me to reach back at.
All of our photographers will be dressed professionally, in a shirt, tie, professional business attire. I mean, we're going to want to wow you and your guests. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Bailey just
point number 5. No date, no video. We are the only photography company offering a 2-week party for every wedding that we shoot.
Sounds good.
Right now, according to the Nut.com and Modern Magazine, they say that the average turnaround time for wedding photos is 3 to 5 months, which is why we are so excited to offer
DSI.com, I think it is.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. In a world filled with endless opportunities, why would 2 men who have built 13 multi-million-dollar businesses altruistically invest 5 hours per day to teach you the best practice business systems and moves that you can use? Because they believe in you, and they have a lot of time on their hands. They started from the bottom, now they're here. It's the Thrivetime show starring the former U.S. Small Business Administration's Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark, and the entrepreneur trapped inside an optometrist's body, Dr. Robert Zuttner. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Started from the bottom, and now we're at the top, teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. The seeds bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of 5, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the CNC up on your radio, and now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Thrive Nation, on today's show, we're going to talk about how to build an effective customer service / call center. Now, the great thing is if you buy an OxyFresh franchise, they already have a call center built for you. But for those of you that already own a business, but you don't have a call center, I'm going to walk you through the 10 steps that you need to take to build an effective call center and customer service center. And then I'm going to have Matt Klein with OxyFresh, the franchise brand developer, tell us why you need these systems in place. And again, full disclosure, OxyFresh, the franchise, already has these systems in place for you. So if you buy an OxyFresh, you're buying these systems as part of the franchise experience. But I want to get his feedback on why these systems are super critical for any effective customer service / call center, sales center. Matt Klein, welcome on to the Thrivetime Show. How are you, sir?
I am doing good. It's a great Monday. I appreciate the invite.
So item number one, Matt, you got to have a call script. You got to have inbound scripts and outbound call scripts. Why does every call center need to have call scripts in place?
Because if you are a true scheduling center where you are hiring people and you're growing, you need to have some consistency with the calls. You need to give your employees that work in that scheduling center some tools to be successful, right? If you train the same thing over and over and over, you're going to get really good at that. You're going to also get good at doing your KPIs, key performance indicators on answering the phones, time of picking up, right? Then the ability to close, ability to upsell, things like that. So if you don't have something, you can't measure. You have to measure it, and that call script will allow you to actually have some consistency with your hiring.
I would argue that 9 out of the 10 people I work with, today I'm Matt, I was working with a medical business we've worked with for years, and their leads are flying in right now. Their growth is tremendous. And the owner of the business, who I've had the opportunity to work with for years, he just said on today's call, he said, Clay, how honestly, when you've talked about the importance of having call scripts, I've always just sort of blown it off and thought, and I'll just give my people an outline of things to say. And I don't have time to focus on the details because I'm too busy.
Yep.
But at the last conference I came to, Clay, I really dialed in the call script. We started using it, and I discovered that it changed everything. It made everything so much better. And you guys have a great call center in place at OxyFresh. The second system you have to have in place is you have to have call recording. Now, I recommend a company called clarityvoice.com, clarityvoice.com, whether somebody uses Clarity Voice or not. You need to have call recording in place, and you do have call recording in place at OxyFresh. Why is call recording an important thing to have in place for every call center?
Yeah, because it's like the 1% rule. 1% of your customers are going to claim something's not right or make your day difficult, or, you could even have maybe like a rogue employee. So it just allows you, it allows me as the owner. If I have an issue, I can go back to where it started. What would the customer ask for? What did we promise them? What was the dialogue? Make sure that conversation was correct, because if there is differences of opinion as to what's happening there, I can cut that off right there. And I can say, here's what you asked for. Here's what we quoted you for. If you want something more, we can certainly do that. So it just allows you to have management through facts, not opinions.
Now, again, I don't know that most business owners have call recording in place. In fact, I can tell you every carpet cleaning brand, every service brand I've ever worked with, before they became a client, didn't have call recording in place. It's just a fact. I mean, I'm working with a wonderful wood flooring installer right now, and I'm working with a wonderful roofing company right now, both of which did not have call recording in place when I started working with them years ago. Matt, without call recording, I would argue, again, it's very hard to know what your team is doing, and you have that in place for all the OxyFresh franchise owners. Third, you got to have pre-written emails. Every time that OxyFresh emails people a receipt or a confirmation, everything has been workflowed out. Talk to us about the importance of having pre-written emails.
Well, one, it's going to be a huge time saver. You're not customizing an email every single time. And if you're busy, these things are going to come up over and over and over again. So if the more automation you can build in the things that are going to be consistently, like invoices or thank yous or whatever, it'll allow you to be more efficient as a company, get your time back, and it'll actually it'll complete the purpose of what it's used for, right? It's like, if you're going to bill someone, you need to get paid, right? And if you're doing a lot of jobs, it's going to be a lot of transactions. So yeah, I mean, what you're doing is you're eliminating the human time it's going to take and automating the task at hand. And so it'll allow you to essentially make your business way more efficient.
Item number 4, you got to have pre-written text messages. Now, a lot of business owners don't think about that, but a lot of people today, they'll go to the oxyfresh.com website. They want to schedule their carpet cleaning, and maybe your team has to interact with that potential customer via text, via email, via phone, via whatever platform. Matt, talk to us about just why you want to have a pre-written everything.
Same thing. I mean, I assume if you're going to text one customer, you're going to text all of them. And if you're a busy company, these transactions are going to happen over and over and over. It could be 5, 10, 20, it could be 30, 40, interactions a day. Anything you don't automate that's consistently happening will essentially not allow you to scale. Because if a human being has to even pushing a button, right? If you haven't automated that point, that means that you can't actually grow to the next employee or the next truck or the next building or whatever your scale is. Because if if you have to just replicate, tasks every single time something happens, you'll essentially get to a plateau of business where it's not going to be worth it for you to grow. It's going to be too painful.
No, Matt, the next thing you want to have, and you guys have this at OxyFresh, is you want to have a profitable pricing model and a sustainable sales structure. I actually know of carpet cleaners. These are real examples. Lawyers, doctors, folks, come on now. I know of home wood floor installers. I know of home cleaners who actually have a pricing model that isn't profitable, and they scaled it for a quarter or two, where the sales rep was quoting customers over the phone. What am I saying? I'm saying I know of actual clients that I've worked with before helping them where their sales rep and or the owner of the company was quoting people a price that caused them to lose money at scale. You guys at OxyFresh have already thought about the pricing model, and it's sustainably profitable. Talk to us about that, because I believe that's a huge benefit of the OxyFresh franchise.
Yeah, and I think what you're actually talking about is most people don't know how to get business or get consistent business. They've never learned the marketing portion of their company. And so to combat that, they lower their price to a level where it's so appealing to the customer that it seems like a deal that's too good to be true. Well, the problem for the actual business is that deal is too good to be true, and they actually go backwards every time they get a job, right? They're trying to stay above water by price gouging instead of marketing. And so you have to know what it costs you to do whatever service or product that you're delivering, and you got to price accordingly. You got to look at how much your insurance costs. You got to look at how much, if you're in a brick and mortar, how much your rent costs. You got to know what your payroll is, what your workers' comp on top of that payroll. You got to understand what gasoline costs is. Like, running a real business is not just giving, that to the customer, whatever your service is. It's understanding how your business can actually stay afloat. Because if you price yourself under the profitability line, it's just a matter of time before you're out of business. Like, it's just numbers. It's very simple.
Next is you have to install a weekly staff training. Now, I'm not saying that you only have a weekly meeting with your staff at OxyFresh, but what I'm saying is at OxyFresh, there's ongoing training. It never ends. I find that most companies never even start training unless there's a burning fire. What am I saying? Again, let me try this again. At OxyFresh, if you go up to OxyFresh for a discovery day or you visit the OxyFresh offices, as I often do, you guys have a culture of ongoing training. Now, most business owners I know, they never train their staff unless there's a burning fire. Talk to us about the importance of the ongoing training of specifically your sales/call center team.
Yeah. The bigger you get and the more levels of management you put in there, the harder the consistency of a business becomes, right? If you aren't consistently training your employees on best practices and the things that will allow them to be successful, and you just say, okay, I trained someone in July, and I didn't have another touch point of training until like December. You just gave them 5-6 months to create behavior that's not going to be beneficial for your business. And it's not even their fault. They're left to their own devices. They're going to put their own spin on it. And then that spin is going to become a totally different language. That language is going to become less efficient in terms of how they answer the phone, how they actually bid the job, right? And what they think is good is only good because it's comfortable for them. It's not efficient for the actual business, right? And so you have to do that consistent training because it'll allow you to see the holes in individual people's kind of techniques and get them back on track. I mean, it's really, really important. I don't even know how you would do it without that, to be honest.
Now, the next is accountability. Accountability is a big thing. You have to install daily accountability. Now, if you go to OxyFresh, you're going to find there's sort of a cubicle city, a cubicle community where there are many, many call reps up there. Sometimes during peak hours, you have a ton of people. Sometimes in lower hours, like you have, at 4 a.m, you probably don't need a lot of call reps, whereas like 5 p.m, it's busier. Sometimes there's certain holidays like Christmas where you probably need less call reps on Christmas Day, if not no callers. Some days of the week, you need more people, less people, whatever, but you need accountability. And I see so many business owners that let the front desk guy answer their phone from home in their pajamas while driving their car on the road. What am I saying? This is big. I'm not kidding. I know of so many businesses, Matt, where they say, to cut costs, to make it more efficient, we're going to let our staff work from home. And then that devolves into we're going to let our staff answer the phone while driving. So that devolves to the employees no longer follow any script at all. And there's a kid crying in the background. And it's because there's not a culture of accountability. Talk to us about the culture of accountability that you guys have created and are continuing to create there at oxyfresh.com.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you here, Clay. I feel like working from home is basically a passive income that is not the most important thing to you. I just think you put yourself in a scenario where the job at hand, it becomes secondary. If you're trying to answer the phones and you have noise in the background, or you're trying to get your food out of the fridge, or if you're doubling down as your caretaker for your children and you're answering phones. I mean, you can just do this yourself. If you're trying to call as a customer, right, and you call someone, you can tell they're at home and there's noise in the background, you can hear the TV and you can hear the kids, right? That's not going to seem like a professional company that you want to do business with. It wouldn't be for me. And so it's pretty easy to put the shoe on the other foot for that, right? What environment do you want to put your customers in so that they can actually want to use you and keep using you? And I would say that's where you should look at those things. What is the actual engagement from a consumer side? And you're going to learn pretty quickly. I mean, people are just going to hang up on you. They don't have time to deal with it. And they're just going to go to the very next company on the internet.
And I'm just going to give an example. When I traveled out to Denver recently to hang out with you guys and spend some time with you, John Barnett and your staff invited me to attend a Denver Nuggets game. Now, when I was attending the Denver Nuggets game, I turned my phone off. And I actually gave the phone to your to the driver, for the OxyFresh driver. So I didn't even have my phone with me. I just said, hey, bring that to Barnett's house. And I just want to be mentally present. I wanted to be able to get a chance to talk to you and talk to Barnett and talk to the staff and be uninterrupted, because I wanted to, I was there with you guys for a couple hours and I wanted to be there. But I know a lot of people that, I'm not attacking the people in that box or people that are out there golfing, but I discovered a lot of people, they go golfing while they bring their phone with them. And then when the phone rings, they try to answer the phone while also golfing. We've all played basketball with a guy who tries to answer his phone while playing basketball. Oh, guys, give me a second. I got to get that. We all know people that are at the basketball game taking calls. And I just don't do that because I don't want to have a divided mind. I believe being present is a present. And so I just told the driver, take my phone. I'll see you when I get back to Barnett's house. I don't know how many people do that. In fact, I know almost nobody that does that when they're answering the phone for work at home. And so I do that at home. When I go home, I turn my phone off. I know that's why over the years I've texted you maybe on a weekend, and I'm not offended that you don't respond. I'm figuring you're probably on a date with your wife, and if you want to stay married, and I know you do, you probably turn your phone off. That makes sense to me, and you'll get it when you get it. But I find that a lot of people, they don't turn their phone off at home. When they go home, they're trying to do the work thing. And when they're working from home, they're just in this perpetual divisive mindset. And again, the idea of the OxyFresh allows your customers to experience call reps that are focused on them. It's so important for you folks, if you're building a call center out there, to not set up a work environment where your staff is perpetually distracted. You don't want the person answering the phone to have a divided mind where they're not paying attention. And I just want to celebrate the OxyFresh call center for making the main thing the main thing. Now, next is you want to install merit-based pay. Now, we don't have time to get into all the details of this, but essentially, some of the people who are in key leadership positions now at OxyFresh started out answering the phone. Yep. And so people actually get promoted based upon their skill. It's a merit-based pay organization. You promote character there at OxyFresh. A lot of companies, corporate America, people can work in a call center for 10 consecutive years and never get promoted. Can you talk about that culture of having a merit-based pay system where you guys actually recognize who's doing a good job because you measure the results and you actually promote the people from the call center into leadership positions?
Yeah, I mean, it starts with being able to track it, like we talked about, tracking the key performance indicators. But once you have those things in place, you do need to pay off performance, because if everyone gets paid by the hours they work, you can't actually understand who's doing a good job or not, right? So if you have 5 people working and one person's booking 90% of the jobs that day, you have 4 people booking 10. Why should the person spending all the time on the phone, booking all the jobs, why should they get paid the same amount? They're taking 5 to 6 times more calls than the other 4 people, right? But also, too, you want to build from within. You want your staff to get better every year, every hiring cycle. You want them to get better, and you do that by promoting people that have shown their work ethic, shown their ability to be above the normal other employees. I mean, I think it's so important to hire folks that deserve it. You'll also get a ton of people that are loyal to you as well, right? So everything will help if you actually pay for performance, not for hours worked.
Now, Matt, we all know that you got into the position you're in just based upon your shameless, raw, rugged good looks. And that creates a toxic culture if everybody who works in the company is only there because of their raw, rugged good looks. I mean, Matt, if everybody was given a hall pass and promoted just because of their raw, rugged good looks like yourself, I mean, just because you led the state of Colorado in scoring in high school doesn't mean that you can all, I mean, that's why clearly why you were promoted to the position that you're in is because you did lead the state of Colorado in scoring and you are a beautiful man, but not everybody within your company can be promoted for those reasons, or it creates a toxic, passive aggressive culture. And that's not the kind of culture we create over there at OxyFresh. So we move on here, folks. Now the staff recruiting, ongoing staffing, ongoing recruiting. I remember when John Barnett, the founder of OxyFresh, told me about you. And I remember we were talking and he says, I got this guy. All jokes aside, he said, I got this guy. I've known him through the gym. He's a super hard worker. He's passionate about sales. I think he described you, or we agreed that you were like a human bowling ball, a modern Viking. You're just absolutely a relentless person. And I remember Barnett said, if I hire this guy, I don't exactly know where I'm going to put him, but I think I want to put him in sales. But he was actively trying to recruit you to come join OxyFresh, even though there wasn't quite yet a position. And I know even to this day, when you're out around town, you're meeting people, you're always recruiting. I mean, it's a constant culture of always bringing in more talent. Can you talk about that, why it's important to have a culture? I mean, now that you've been there for a long time, you're one of the guys out there recruiting. Why is it important to have a culture where you're always recruiting?
Well, one is that you always have a hole to fill if something happens. Right? I mean, the bigger you get as a company, the longer you're in business, people are going to leave for a lot of different reasons that are out of your control. Right? So you fill that hole and that void very quickly with people that you already know are potentially good or better fits than who you had. But also, if you're trying to grow your business, you should always be hiring, because, you know, I say this all the time. My first group of hiring when I was running even my franchise, compared to my employees now, they're vastly different. Right? I have self-starters. I have very aggressive sales guys. I have people that are really working hard. They make a good living. That position got there because I had to go through hiring bad people and replacing bad people and getting better people and then replacing those people. And so, you know, if every single time I've got to hire, I've got to start from scratch, it just, that ticker of me being able to create more money takes forever. That ticker for me to be able to train them gets longer. And so, you know, all you're doing is you're doing yourself a really good service by actually keeping a tab of who could work for you, because it's not a matter of if you need to hire at some point, it's when. It's always when you need to rehire, not if.
Now, point 9 and 10 here, folks, for the sake of time, you want to install a culture where you have employee retention. OxyFresh, you have an annual conference. Your staff often goes on trips or trade shows together. There's a lot of events that you guys do together that build bonds, they build camaraderie. And the people that work at OxyFresh, the leadership team at OxyFresh has been there as a cohesive team for a long time. But just like an NBA team, you know, people do move on from time to time, but that core nucleus at OxyFresh has been together for a long time. And that's a very intentional thing. And that's something you're getting when you buy an OxyFresh franchise. And then finally, you have to have a vision that inspires people. And I'll just tell you a little story about John Barnett. I remember going to college with John Barnett. I didn't know him super well. We went to the same college, Oral Roberts University. I had a chance to meet him in college. I got a chance to check in with him. He would check in with me from time to time. I was building a brand called DJconnection.com, which I sold, but it went on to become America's largest wedding entertainment company. We were booking about 4,000 weddings a year. And John Barnett was building this brand called OxyFresh. Now, as the brand continued building, John had this vision to become the world's greenest carpet cleaner. He had this vision to become the highest rated, most reviewed carpet cleaner in America. He had a vision to open up 300 locations. I remember when he told me that, he said, I want to have 300 locations. Today, how many territories do you have open there, Matt Klein?
About 500.
It's incredible stuff there, folks. So again, if you want to be part of a growing team where there is a vision, just go to thrivetimeshow.com/OxyFresh, thrivetimeshow.com/OxyFresh. And Matt, as far as buying a franchise, final questions I have here for you. How much money does it cost to buy an OxyFresh franchise, and what are the steps that we need to take? And then on part 2 of today's show, we're going to do a deep dive into more of the nuances and details needed to build a call center. But how much does it cost to buy an OxyFresh franchise, and what are the steps people need to take to learn about buying an OxyFresh franchise?
Yeah, first and foremost, you need to fill out the form. That'll give us your information. We'll reach out to you via email, text, and phone, set up that initial call. In those discussions, we'll talk about the business, the finances. We'll talk about the agreement. We'll talk about the time frame, income potential, all that. But in there, we'll also talk about the investment, which is $44,900 to become a franchise, which includes equipment, product, territory, 7-year agreement, and training. And then I'll ask that you have at least 25,000 in additional income, or not income, but additional money for your operating capital. Okay, because when you become a business, now you need to pay for things like insurance and local marketing and monthly vehicle costs and gasoline and hats and shirts and the things that will get your business to a cash flow positive state.
Matt, I'm not saying this to make it awkward, but it might get awkward. You are one of my favorite people. And I mean this though. I meet so many people. I love your consistency. I love your kindness. I love the fact that you're a hardworking guy. I love the fact that everybody who knows you respects you. I love, I'm a big buyer of the Matt Klein brand. And I mean that sincerely. There's a lot of people I've met in my life that are complete jackwagons and jackasses that are not consistent. And even the things that I'm sure you don't like about yourself, you're consistent in. And it makes it easy to do business with you. And I think folks are going to enjoy working with Matt Klein because you're just a consistent guy. And I think that's what people are going to experience when they work with you. How would you describe what that initial consultation's like? Because again, I think you're a fun-loving guy, but you're also very candid. What can people expect when they pick up the phone and if they do fill out the form and schedule that consultation with you?
Yeah, I'm just going to ask you some very direct questions like, what have you been doing the last couple of years? What are your goals? What's your family dynamic, right? What's your time commitments at the moment? What are you looking for out of a business? We'll just start to build that relationship. We'll start to discuss what your goals are. And more importantly, in those goals, does OxyFresh fit in that picture? Because I do believe that our business should fit into your life. I don't think you should have to change your entire life to run a business. I think that's one of our advantages. And I'll be very upfront and forward with you. If I don't think it's a good fit, I'll tell you, right? Because business is not for everybody. And I think being very honest with people is good. And if I'm proven wrong, that's great, right? That just means that you'll be get some fire underneath you. But yeah, I appreciate the kind words, Clay. And I would tell anyone that is interested in owning a business or maybe getting out of their current kind of rut to make that call, because you just don't know what's out there until you start exploring it. It doesn't cost any money, just a little bit of time.
Matt Klein, you're a great American. I meant every single word that I said. I'll not compliment you again for the next 12 consecutive months, but thank you so much, brother. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you very much.
See you, brother. Bye.
Well, I can say just from this last January to last January, if you just took that month with our online shipping orders, we grew 240%. I would say two things, and you did not pay me at all to say this, but I would definitely go to one of your conferences, because what I tell people, it's not a motivational conference, it's an action-packed conference, and you're going to learn the steps to grow your business and scale it if you want.
If your mom has a sweet tooth, you might want to listen up. We recently talked to an Albany-based cheesecake company led by a mom with an inspirational story and some delicious decadent cakes. Check it out. I'm joined now by the owners of beloved cheesecakes, Jen Jacobson-Brusa and Gabe Jacobson. Thank you both for coming on. Welcome.
Thank you for having us. Yeah, thank you so much.
Folks, on today's show, we have the pleasure, the honor to be joined with a real longtime client of mine, a wonderful lady. She's built a wonderful business called BelovedCheesecakes.com. Jen, welcome on to the Thrivetime Show. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, Clay.
Hey, I was good. The reason why I wanted to interview you on today's show is that at the conference we did, the last conference we did, you came up for a while. We had you do kind of a question and answer session. And we had one particular conference attendee that was telling me they were very inspired by the fact that you are just on your grind. You're implementing these action items. And they were saying that they felt through hearing you talk about how you were embracing the grind and diligently implementing the action steps that we've been coaching you through, it inspired them that they too could do it. So I wanted to ask you first, how did you originally hear about us or the coaching program that we offer here at the Thrivetime Show?
My first time hearing about you was at the Reawaken America Tour in Oregon of 2022.
Okay. And, we've worked with you since that time, and it's been really spectacular to watch you grow your business. For the listeners out there that aren't familiar, I'm going to pull up your website. It's belovedcheesecakes.com, belovedcheesecakes.com. Tell us about the business, how many locations you have, and just kind of give us a little bit of familiarity into your business there.
Yeah, so I started Beloved Cheesecakes 5.5 years ago as brick and mortar in a small town, Silverton, Oregon. And that was 8 months before the lockdown. And anyways, end up having you come on board, and we've been growing. We now have 2 brick and mortar locations, have an online presence, and now I'm in a prestigious, like, bougie grocery store, and 20 different restaurants and growing.
So let's talk about it real quick here. Jack Welch, the CEO of GE, and I'm not trying to paint you into a corner, and I don't expect you to be a Jack Welch expert, but he did grow GE by 4,000%. He's also the best-selling author of a book called Winning. He wrote the following quote. He said, "You've got to eat while you dream. You've got to deliver on short-range commitments while you develop a long-term strategy and vision and implement it. The success of doing both. Walking and chewing gum, if you will. Get it done in the short range while delivering a long-range plan and executing on that." Man, I wish more entrepreneurs could hear that quote and understand it as it relates to your business and as it relates to you being a coaching client of ours. Talk to us about the balance between having the big vision of where you're going and then also needing to answer the door when a new customer comes in, shipping the cheesecakes out, hiring staff. Talk to us about the balance of thinking about your long-term vision and also your short-term daily demands.
Yes. Well, what I've learned from you and the business conference is how important it is to have a schedule. And if you don't have a schedule, your schedule is going to run you, having your to-do list. And that's what it is. It's not, I in the past have been easily distracted with the busy things, and I have to stay focused. I've learned that from you as well. There's so much I've learned from you, but just today I'm having to work the front. I'm dealing with customers, but I'm also having to make sure that we have everything taken care of for next week and have our, inventory and supplies and all that ready for next week. So it's just staying on task, not getting sidetracked, and being able to say, I just had customers come in and they know me and they're like, "Oh, hi, I haven't seen you forever." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I have a call I have to take," so it's just staying on task.
Now, I'm going to pull up I'm going to go 90 miles an hour because that's what it's like being an entrepreneur. So I'm going to go 90 miles an hour because that's what it's like to be an entrepreneur. And I'm going to walk people through this path that we're guiding you down, the path that you're going down, and the path that's producing success for you. First off, you have to know your goals. Jen, 90 miles an hour. Why do you have to know your goals as an entrepreneur every single day?
Well, if you don't have your goals, then what are you shooting for? It's like I've never been a basketball player, but you're not making the shot. You're just like throwing the ball and just hope it goes wherever. So you've got to know where you're shooting and have your goals for that.
Now, I'm not fishing around for you to tell me the answer on this, but I want the listeners to know, your break-even point. You have to know how many customers you need just to break even. Maybe it's not the most fun to think about that, but every entrepreneur needs to know the numbers. Box number 3, you have to know how many hours you're willing to work. And you're somebody who will outwork almost anybody. You are a very hard worker, a diligent worker. You're also a business owner. You're also a mom. Let's talk about that, because the Bible in Genesis and Exodus, it talks about working 6 days a week and resting on the 7th. I think most Americans today don't work more than 40 hours a week. Let's talk about the grind.
It's real, we now are in this bougie market called Zupan's Market here in the Portland area, and we have to deliver to them. So we have to be up at 4:30 in the morning on Wednesdays and be delivering. And then Wednesday we had an event that started at 5. It went until 10 at night. So we didn't get home until 11:30. And that's just what you have to do. You have to keep digging the ditch. I know it won't be like this forever, but right now you just have to keep doing it.
Now, the next box, and I want to brag on you for this. A lot of clients come to me and they say, "Hey, I don't really have a unique value proposition." You guys had already, box number 4, had already established step number 4, a unique value proposition. Beloved Cheesecakes, you had already developed the flavors, the product, a great dessert item. I didn't need to help you with any of that. You'd already had that in place. I think the one thing we had to work together on, though, was to gather objective reviews from happy customers. So now when people go to belovedcheesecakes.com, we've got a large variety of happy client testimonials, objective reviews on Google, video reviews, and you can't fake that stuff. Can you talk about the importance of A, having a unique value proposition, and then B, gathering reviews from real people so that other people know about your unique value proposition?
Well, definitely. We have an amazing product that we're consistent. It's high quality. We have our no-brainer, which is free cheesecake samples. And I try to tell a lot of my business friends, offer something for free, or, like how you do $1 for your first month of coaching. And then what was the second part of the question?
No, I'm sorry to do a two-part question, but I mean, one is you already had a great product, but I think one thing you and I've worked on together is making sure that the world knows it's great by gathering objective reviews. And before I met you, I think you had people love the product, but there wasn't a lot of online evidence that people did.
No, there wasn't. And I'm going to be honest, the first month coaching with you, I thought, this is so dumb. Why am I focusing on Google reviews? But I'm so glad that I focused on it. We've got amazing reviews, and it does make a difference. It keeps us up in the algorithm. It keeps us up on, people find us all the time through Google searching for best dessert or cheesecake. And then it's you want real experience. You want people to actually share and not be fake. So I look at reviews.
Now, since you and I have met, have you noticed an increase in the amount of online traffic or online orders or online purchases? Because again, you already had a great product before you and I met. And have you seen an increased amount of online traffic?
Oh, 100%. Increase in online traffic, increase in walk-ins. I mean, it's everything that I've implemented. Having you as a coach, if I wasn't doing the action steps that you share with us, then I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I mean, I think of myself without you in my life, and there's no way. I would not have known about the Dream 100. I wouldn't have known about the Google reviews, the images, the SEO, the more images, more reviews. I wouldn't.
And you're into what's so fun, and why I called you today. I said we have to get you on the show. Is here we had an entrepreneur you've never met before, and I won't mention his name, but he was coming to our conference almost depressed about where he was at with his life and his business. And he came to the conference because his family is so successful. So his family said, look here, buddy, you should come to this conference. And so he is a member of the same family, a different business. And he's like, wow, my family's having success. There must be something wrong with me. I don't know why I'm not having success. And when you came up and had the courage to just share about, wow, this is a grind, it inspired him to take action, and it's been unbelievable the success it's had on him. Box number 5, branding. You guys have great branding. Everybody out there, if you want to see great branding, go to belovedcheesecakes.com, order a cheesecake, and you're going to see great branding. I'm talking about the packaging, the way the product shows up, the way the product tastes, the follow-up process, the way you call consumers if they have questions. Branding is a big thing. Branding is what consumers think about when they think about your business. Can you talk about the importance of being intentional about your branding?
We are very intentional with our branding. So, we are all about having a high quality, consistent product and giving excellent customer service. So we do a handwritten note with every cheesecake that is shipped. We call our orders. I mean, that's kind of a dinosaur age of people calling on the phone nowadays, but we call and thank them for their order, verify it, confirm it. And that's what we want to be branded for, is having exceptional customer service and exceptional product. And just even coming in, like going to your conference, I can try to tell everyone to go to the conference, but you have to go and experience it. And it's the same thing with Beloved Cheesecakes. I can tell you all about it. You can experience the taste of it, but it's different when you actually come in our building. And that's another exceptional brand that we have. We have signs all over the walls, and that's our branding inspiration.
Now, the final 5 minutes we have you here, again, we're going to go 90 miles an hour because that's the way entrepreneurs go. You broke away from your very busy day to do this interview, and I appreciate you doing that. A three-legged marketing stool. You have to have a consistent turnkey, repeatable way to get customers. Now, in your business, we do the Dream 100, where we reach out to our ideal and likely buyers, and we let people know about the product, aka the gourmet grocery store, podcasters, influencers, that kind of thing. The second leg is we gather objective reviews from happy consumers, and we also write search engine content to come up top. So leg number 1 is Dream 100 marketing. Leg number 2 is online marketing. And leg number 3 is signs and wonders. You have compelling locations. You put up signage that makes sense. You're always offering the consumer a no-brainer offer for first-time customers. Can you talk about the mental stress that has gone away by knowing that you have a 3-legged marketing stool of things that work? Because so many of my coaching clients tell me, they say, Clay, before we started working with you, we were trying everything and we didn't know what would work. And now we've got 3 things that do work. Could you talk about that, the importance of having a 3-legged marketing stool in place?
Yeah, well, I think it does, because when you're hit as a small business owner, you have the people that have magazines, they want you to be in their ad, or your radio stations. And, before I knew you, I was investing and bleeding with these radio ads and magazines. And, it's very simple. We have our Google reviews, we have signage, we have the SEO, we have all of these things, and we track how we ask every single person how they hear about us. And so we have a spreadsheet, and we're able to keep track of how people are hearing about us. And so we can see where our marketing dollars are of value. And we have returning customers, and so many people come in because they see the signs and then the Google reviews, so it is important, and it's simple. We make it so much harder by doing all the other fluff, I guess. And
now,
yeah.
I don't want to paint you to a corner. I'm not looking for a hard number. I'm just trying to build somebody's encouragement. They can do it. If you had to think back 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, in terms of the amount of online business you're generating now, people that find you from the internet, whether it be locally or online from out of state, how much kind of an increase do you think you've seen in online or traffic that's generated from search engine optimization, that kind of thing, than maybe 2 years ago?
Well, I can say just from this last January to last January, if you just took that month with our online shipping orders, we grew 240%.
It's so great. If you're out there, folks, I get emotional, coughing it up here, allergies. No, but if you look up Jen and her business, you are a very approachable, very normal person, but you're in the grind. And so my final 2 questions I have for you. Question 1, what do you say to any entrepreneur out there that's stuck? They feel like, oh my gosh, I have so much that I need to do. And and in this case, this young man came to a conference and his own family's there with him. He's feeling like he's not keeping up, like he doesn't have what it takes. And your message encouraged him so much. He felt like he could do it. What do you say to somebody out there that feels kind of stuck?
Well, I would say 2 things, and you did not pay me at all to say this, but I would definitely go to one of your conferences, because what I tell people, it's not a motivational conference, it's an action-packed conference, and you're going to learn the steps to grow your business and scale it if you want. And then also, we do here at Beloved Cheesecakes, we have our to-do list, but we've taken 6 of the to-do list items, 7 of them, make them our priority for the day, and at least to check off those 7 items, or 7 items a day. So that way you are doing a little bit every day, and you're seeing a dent in your to-do list as it keeps growing.
Now, final question I have here, and I know you have to get back to your shop because it's a very busy day there at belovedcheesecakes.com. A lot of our listeners, they look for a great gift idea. They want to get their spouse something for maybe an anniversary. Somebody's dating somebody. They're looking for a gift. Maybe they're going to take a gift to a family member. Maybe it's a birthday, Valentine's, 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever the holiday is. And I encourage everybody out there to check out your products. But what should everybody check out if they have yet to experience belovedcheesecakes.com?
I would say check out our mini cheesecakes. You can get those. They're 4-inch cheesecakes, and You can pick up to 4 kinds. That's our ultimate sampler. You could do that. But yeah, we have Easter coming up. We have Mother's Day. We have graduations, all of those things coming up. And, it does make such a unique gift to give to someone that has everything. So.
Jen, thank you so much for your courage, A, to come up at the conference and share your story. I encourage so many people. And B, thank you for carving out time amidst your very busy day to be on the Thrivetime show today. I encourage everyone to go to belovedcheesecakes.com. That's plural, Beloved Cheesecakes with an S, belovedcheesecakes.com. Jen, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Clay. You have a great day too.
Bye-bye.
Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you. So congratulations.
Sean, guess what's happening on June 5th and 6th right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem?
We are probably going to have an amazing business conference here at Tulsa, Jerusalem.
Yes, we're joined by Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is going to be joining us right here at the Thrivetime Show World Headquarters June 5th and 6th. He's a very successful football player, obviously a Heisman Award winner, but he's also a very successful entrepreneur. Now, when you work with real clients, Sean, clients you really work with to help them grow their companies, do you ever hear a business owner tell you that they didn't have time to get something done?
Every day.
How often is not having enough time a problem for business owners?
All the time. It's like maybe 90% of the issues as people are trying to grow their company.
Well, Tim Tebow is going to come join us here at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop, and he's going to teach us time management and his approach to personal self-discipline and getting things done. Also at the workshop, I'll put it up on the website so people can see it here. Also at the 2-day interactive workshop, Sean, we are going to be, there it is. We're going to be teaching accounting, systems creation, marketing, human resources, how to hire, inspire, train, and retain great people, accounting, social media advertising, search engine optimization. Sean, what's the area where most clients ask you for help the most? Is it generating leads? Is it hiring people? What's the biggest issue that most business owners have by default before they come to one of our workshops?
Well, I think it's management, because time is the most valuable resource for these business owners, and being able to manage their time is the first thing. Once they get that under control, then generally the numbers, being able to track their business and be able to make the best decisions based on numbers rather than emotions is a big area. And we teach all of this stuff at the business conference, particularly you, Clay. You love to hammer on time management. It's my favorite part of the conference.
Now, I'm going to pull this up real quick here because we're going to go through. If you're not excited, I want to get you excited about what we're going to cover at the workshop here. Okay.
All right.
The 2-day interactive workshop. This is my 20th year hosting workshops. So I'm telling you, folks, we're in rare form here. So one is the idea of establishing your revenue goals. I think most entrepreneurs don't know their revenue goals. Would you agree, or am I off my rocker?
No, that's totally a very important point we do with every one of our new clients that come on board, is we have to establish the revenue goals. And generally speaking, we have a vague idea, but not an exact idea that can be engineered down into like the daily goals for sales. And so that's a really big one.
Now, next is the break-even numbers. What kind of sales do you have to do to even break even?
Yeah.
Third is, how many hours per week do you want to work? What is your ideal schedule as an entrepreneur? Box number 4, how do you stand out in the clutter of commerce? What makes your company unique from all the different businesses? In a world of brown cows, herds of brown cows, proverbial brown cows, the analogy of brown cows, how can you be the purple cow that stands out? How can you be the squeaky wheel that gets the oil? Box number 5, branding. How do you improve the perception that people have of you, your business, your brand? Box number 6, marketing, your 3-legged marketing stool. What is a turnkey way for you and your company to generate leads so you can succeed? Because if you don't have any leads, your business will bleed. If you can't sell, your business will go to hell. You've got to generate leads. Sean, how often do business owners by default tell you they have a hard time generating leads?
It's almost all of the time. It's really a huge struggle. And many times they may be creating leads, but just through word of mouth. So they get to a point where we've implemented systems, and then they need to create more leads, but they've never had to do it. So there's a lot of different scenarios where business owners are like, how do you create leads? Something we hammer on at the conference a lot.
Box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Again, box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Sales scripts, recorded calls, one sheets, pre-written emails, lead trackers, all of the sales tools, the sales print pieces, the one sheets, the big screens that you see inside the business. Whether you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you got to have sales systems in place. We help you with that. Box number 8. What does it cost you to get another customer? Step number 8, what does it cost you to actually acquire a customer? Step number 9, it's hard to build an organization if you're not organized. We're going to teach you how to create repeatable systems, processes, file organization. Box number 10, we're going to teach you how to manage people, real people on the planet Earth. This just in, we're going to teach you how to manage real people on the planet Earth. Box number 11, how to create a sustainable schedule that works for you and your family. Step number 12, how to create human resources systems for recruiting, hiring, training, and retaining great people. Box number 13, accounting. This just in, we have to cover accounting. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. We're going to cover all the accounting things you need to know. And step 14, finally, what is the point of even achieving success? We're going to go over what is the point of even achieving success, how to design a life that you're excited about, how to design a life where you carve out enough time for your faith, your family, your finance, your fitness, your friendship, your fun, and where you're going to spend your focused time. We're going to go through that, all this and more. Now, the workshop, Sean, it's June 5th and 6th. Yep. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. Yes. And tickets, we always do it. It's $250 or whatever price that someone can afford. Sean, why do we let people name their price? Why do we have scholarship tickets available if somebody can't afford the $250 general admission ticket?
Well, we don't want anybody to miss out on it. You know, you could be at a startup phase or you could be, way along in your business, but we want to make it accessible for everybody. I think it actually goes back to a story of your dad. And it goes all the way back to how you've always done this as a business coach, trying to make sure that, your average people out there have access to the things that work.
Now, 7 a.m. to 5, Sean, why do we go from 7 to 5 both days? I mean, it's 10 hours a day. 20 hours of training over 2 days. Why do we do 10 hours a day, Sean, of back-to-back workshops? We do a 30-minute teaching session. We do a 15-minute question and answer session, and then we take a break. 30 minutes of teaching, 15 minutes of question and answer, then we take a break. Why do we do that format, Sean?
That format is so that we can keep people engaged and not just sitting there listening, but also getting involved. We really encourage people to ask questions, and that's really where the juiciness of the conference comes out, is you can put your personal situation and your questions on the board, and Clay will tee off and give you direct advice. Even without being in our coaching program, you can get direct coaching from Clay. It's really a very engaging format. I enjoy it a lot.
Sean, final 60 seconds, pop quiz here. What date is the conference?
June 5th and 6th, 2025, this year.
Question number 2, who's our keynote speaker coming to the conference there, Sean?
Tim Tebow is our keynote speaker.
Sean, question number 3, how much does it cost to come to our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I think it's, did you say it's $250 or whatever you can afford?
That's right, $250 or whatever you can afford. Sean, how do you spell Eric Trump backwards?
P-M-U-R-T-C-I-R-E. Ooh, that took a long time.
I'll have to listen to this. Right. All right, again, that's Sean Lohman. I'm Clay Clark, inviting you to come join us at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive workshop, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sean, I'm excited to have this event. I'm excited to see you at the event, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tim Tebow, baby. It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem.
You could be anywhere doing a lot of different things, but you chose to be here.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Hey guys, Luke Erickson here with the Thrivetime Show. As you can see behind me, we've got all kinds of energy going on. People are starting to show up for the conference, and it is hot in this place. We got grill guns over here. We've got people playing the drums. We've got a fire breather, and man, people are so excited as they come in. The conference is kicked off. This house is packed. We've got Aaron Hansis with Sean Holmes up there. We've got Steve Currington with Total Lindy Concepts up there talking about what is possible when you just implement, when you do the proven system. It's so exciting. People are going crazy. The team is ready. Come on, let's see what it's like to go on in for day 2. Follow me. I'll tell you what, people are so excited to be here for day 2. It is going to be incredible. Cannot wait to see what today has in store. Right now, here at the conference, we've broken into groups going over search engine optimization. I know for most of us, myself included, if you hear that term, you go, what is that? What does that mean? That's too techie for me. Well, our experts are breaking it down for people so that you can clearly understand how to come up top in Google. It's doable. It's possible. Now we're in the middle of a break, and what we like to do is we like to give you as much tangible and relevant information from about the start of the hour for 45 minutes. Then we take approximately a 15-minute break to allow people to connect with other entrepreneurs around them, bathroom breaks, and also use this time to just really digest all of the good information that you're receiving the whole time. Right behind me, we've got Bob with his grill gun, melting an ice sculpture. It is awesome. The ice sculpture represents our life, right? It's here for a time, but we all need to have the sense of urgency to implement the things that we're learning so that we can make the most of the time that we have.
I heard about it on the podcast. Started listening to the podcast, became a fan, and then figured out about the workshop. I own an insurance and financial services agency, and I was hoping to learn from the workshop systems and processes. I'm big on systems and processes and always learning better ways to run a business more efficiently. The atmosphere's second to none. It's a high energy, really cool atmosphere to be around. Contagious, I would say. Just something every entrepreneur, I think, would appreciate and love. I'd say humorous, high energy, and full of substance, which I think is the key. A lot of business coaches or seminars maybe are high on motivation and making you feel good, but don't have a lot of substance that you can take back and implement, the following Monday, where his does. Man, there's a lot of valuable things. I'm gonna say, this is my second workshop. The first workshop I took back really the importance of a group interview. I used to spend hours and hours interviewing people, screening resumes, and that saving my time on that part is valuable. It was that and then the sales scripting that have been two major things just so far. Man, I think they're missing out on, expert advice from somebody who's been there, done that, built companies, has learned a lot of lessons. That's what I'm always looking for, is somebody that I can learn from that's ahead of where I am. And I think if you choose not to come, you're missing out on a lot of good advice that could help your business.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us. and it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing, and Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it because we sure haven't.
My name is Danielle Sprick, and I am the founder of D Sprick Realty Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and my 3 kids started school and they were in school full-time, I was at a crossroads and trying to decide what do I want to do? My degree and my background is in education, but after being a mom and staying home and all of that, I just didn't have a passion for it like I once did. My husband suggested real estate. He's a home builder, so real estate and home building go hand in hand, and we just rolled with it. I love people, I love working with people, I love building relationships, but one thing that was really difficult for me was the business side of things. The processes and the advertising and marketing. I knew that I did not have what I needed to make that what it should be. So I reached out to Clay at that time, and he and his team have been extremely instrumental in helping us build our brand, help market our business, our agents, the homes that we represent. Everything that we do is a direct line from Clay and his team and all that they've done for us. We launched our brokerage, our real estate brokerage, 8 months ago. And in that time, we've gone from myself and one other agent to just this week, we signed on our 16th agent. We have been blessed with the fact that we right now have just over 10 million in pending transactions. 3 years ago, I never would have even imagined that I would be in this role that I'm in today, building a business, having 16 agents. But I have to give credit where credit's due. And Clay and his team and the business coaching that they've offered us has been huge. It's been instrumental in what we're doing. Don't ever limit your vision. When you dream big, big things happen.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way. I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 embezzlement. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really keep a steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
Clay, my honor to be on your show, and thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you, so congratulations.
And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. Hi, I'm Kelsey with K&D's Woodward Finishing, business owner at 23. So I've been working this K&D's company for about 5 years now, and we started working with Thrive not too long ago. And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. That's what we're going to hit or exceed. So we're pretty excited about that. It's been pretty much just listening to what they have to say. Their hiring process has just really been incredible as far as finding good quality help, and the just the accountability of meeting up with them weekly, and like such good insight, the resources that they have for specific business questions. It's all been really incredible. It's been a great experience, so I would recommend it to anybody.
What I've seen from Clay and his group at Thrive is they'll give you a simple system, and it's the simple systems are the ones that people can wrap their brain around. They're the ones that people can work with on a day-to-day basis.
Hi there, my name is Stephanie Pipkin. I am 24 years old and I own Black River Falls Cleaning Services. We opened in April of 2019 and it is now mid-June of 2020. So I wanted to talk today about the success and growth I have achieved by implementing the Proven Path with Clay Clark's team and my business coach Luke from Thrivetime. It has been insane to say the least. I started working with them in mid-February of this year, so we're about 4 months in of working together, and it has completely transformed my business in pretty much every facet. So I'm gonna check my notes here. So in 4 months, my leads have tripled. I was getting probably like 2 leads a week. Now I'm getting more in the like 10 to 15 leads a week. I have doubled my number of employees. I'm now hitting the highest revenue weeks in the history of the company, week to week it seems like. We went from about 6 appointments today as our highest in February to now 14 to 15 appointments a day. And hiring quality employees has become much simpler and less stressful by using their systems for hiring. I typically only get maybe 2 complaints a month, if that, and everybody shows up to work. I just have really high quality employees now, especially in something people typically consider a high turnover type of work, you know, cleaning houses, cleaning businesses. I have amazing employees now, and I get rid of the ones who are not so amazing and bring on new ones because of, you know, group interviews and interviewing every single week. It's just been great, and such I don't waste as much time on low quality candidates anymore. And your coach will hold you accountable. I mean, which I love. Again, the tough love is really great. You know, Luke's like a stern father figure, but he's also nice, but also stern when he needs to be when I'm being lazy and not doing the things that I know I need to do because I don't want to do them. So that's just great. Worth every penny. I mean, I'd pay him $1 million a month if I can, and maybe someday I'll be able to, but I would just say go for it. If it seems like a good fit, just go for it. Do what they say, even if you think it's stupid or ridiculous, just do what they say because it'll work. You know, people, when they look at my business, you know, people in my town, they think I'm lucky. They think I'm just, you know, things just happen for me. And, you know, maybe I am lucky, but it has a lot to do with hard work and, you know, perseverance and, you know, working till you cry sometimes. That's just being an entrepreneur, which if you're a business owner, you understand that. But it's having these systems in place of, you know, of course I'm going to be successful. It's an absolute because I have all this stuff in the background happening, and I have Luke and Clay and everybody on their team working really hard to make sure that I'm a success. And I can tell that they are just so excited every single week when I'm having all these wins and things like that. They're so excited for me. So it's the best thing ever, and I would suggest to anybody to work with them. So sorry for the long-winded reply, but I just had so much to say, and I could go on for hours probably about how amazing they are. But thank you to Clay and Luke and the entire team there, everything you guys have done for me, and I am so excited to continue to work with you for years to come. Thanks so much for watching.
My saying is, if it's important to you, hire a coach. And I think that's one of the reasons people are not successful is they eat a cheeseburger instead of hiring a coach, you know what I mean? And so my coach pushes me. They're younger than me. They push harder. They're trained. And as my rich dad always said, you know, amateurs don't have a coach, but professionals always have coaches. So I've always had coaches for whatever is important. And, you know, my rich dad was one of those persons. You're on it, man. You're on it. You're on it. Everybody listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. You have the macro picture. Very few people have that point of view.
Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble.